This is Guns, Knives, and Watches, and by that I mean I'm holding the camera, are making, it's honest, cranberry, apple and cranberry sauce.
Okay, it's a recipe from Gordon Ramsay because he's one of my favorite chefs, and just got it all online. What I'm doing right now is I'm caramelizing sugar and ground cardamom and star anise. These are much easier to buy in that form than what it asks for, and you just use a little bit more than you would if you bought it fresh and still in the pods. I already have my apples chopped up so that they don't turn brown though. It's just a little bit of lemon juice. It does not affect the flavor, but it keeps them from turning brown. 2 cups of cranberries. Tip on the cranberries, a lot of times not a lot of people buy them at the grocery store, so to make sure that they're fresh, you bounce them, and where did it go? And it bounces, then it's fresh enough. If you pick it up and you can squeeze it like a grape, toss it out and use something else. Calls for 1 ounce of port wine. We don't buy port wine, so just red wine works. And to do 1 ounce, I've already measured it, so I can't, show you exactly because it's going to measure the cup too. But a scale like this is pretty easy, and I tiered it first. That's obviously showing way more than 1 ounce, but looks like it's about 1/4 of a cup of red wine. So now I'm just waiting for the sugar to caramelize before I can add the rest of my ingredients.
And we'll be back in a moment. Okay, we're back.
Alright, this is what your sugar should look like when it's good caramelized. Obviously it has that nice brown color. And this is when it's time to add the cranberries. Okay, this is exactly what you want this to do. And the cranberries, you're going to cook until they start to blister and pop, which is going to take a little longer than you would think because you've got to get all this nice caramel goodness all over them.
Not only that, you got to let your sugar heat back up. See now how it's kind of, acting gummy, right?
Yep. Okay. Do this without burning myself. More, no kitchen should be without it.
That's real deal, though.
Okay. Now, obviously, you cannot just leave this like this. This is where we're going to add the port wine. And this is going to help get all of that nice gooiness up off the bottom of the pan and be able to distribute throughout the cranberries. And this, by the way, has a great smell to it. And if you're cooking Christmas and you're doing this the day of, you can. It adds a great smell. But if you, like me, you like to prepare in advance, this is also a great dish to do in advance because it actually tastes better the longer it sits in the refrigerator. So I'm doing this 2 days in advance so that it has enough time to kind of get the good smell. Now we're going to leave this. Forgot one thing that I forgot to talk about earlier, orange juice. It says the zest and juice of 1 orange. I didn't have any oranges, so I'm just going to use orange juice. Now this needs to get back up to kind of a boil, and it's going to cook for 5 to 10 minutes until everything is just kind of all mushed together. Oh, and the apples. Now we're going to let it cook for 5 to 10 minutes. Sorry about that.
Good deal. Well, we'll be back. Well, after 5 minutes of cooking.
And we did have a slight problem. I don't know if you guys noticed in the last video, the caramel was really hard. So the recipe did not say to do this, but I purposely put it in a pan that has a lid. So what we did was we covered it up for the first 5 minutes. We're on the second 5 minutes and have 3 minutes left, and as you can see, that created enough heat to melt the sugar back. And we're starting to get a nice, consistent, gooey kind of thing here.
Well, we'll keep you up to date. Be back here in a minute. Well, we're back for an update. It's been cooking probably about 10 minutes, and then we're going to let it cook a little while longer.
Which tells you that recipes are not foolproof. If you think it needs to cook longer, cook it longer. If you don't, if you think it needs to cook less, you have to be the judge of that. And that's where cooking can get tricky sometimes, and so can recipes. Cover that back up.
We'll be right back. Well, we're back.
Something I wanted to mention before about this pan is it's become one of my favorite cookers of basically anything, rice, anything that needs to have a lid on it. The great thing is it is not hot. Now, if you stick it in the oven and you cook with it in the oven, it's obviously going to get hot. This handle's not hot. About right here it starts to get a little warm. Neither one of these are hot. So no pot holders. It's awesome.
And we got a smoking deal on that. That was
right.
That.
We did not pay full price for that.
It's all clad.
Okay, this went 10 minutes, and then I reset the timer for 3 more minutes. So we've got 1 minute left. And the other thing about this is, since this is obviously you're seeing is starting to have a gelatinous kind of consistency, you do not want to let this cool in this container. So my storage container is a batter bowl, but it's a glass batter bowl. Pampered Chef, no kitchen, should be without it. We have 2 and could use more. I like it not only as a batter bowl, but as a storage bowl because it's glass and this is hot. And if you put hot things into plastic, you know, there's varying beliefs about that, but I think sometimes it can alter the taste of your food. So I would much rather store temperature sensitive items in glass. So we've got about 30 seconds left there. I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat off. All clad pans are great conductors of heat. Doesn't take a whole lot of heat to cook in one of these, so that's also a great thing.
So let's say you were trying to cook and save energy.
Right.
An all clad can actually cook something
quicker, faster, at a much, much lower temperature. Don't think, except for maybe a couple minutes, we had this on maybe, well, we have a gas stove. So you've got 5, there's our timer. We maybe had it on 5 for a couple minutes of that, 13 minutes.
Which is basically a high medium heat. Which is medium.
As you can see, this is already hardening and thickening up. So we want to get this into this bowl very carefully and very quickly. And not only is this a traditional kind of recipe for holidays, it's something a little different than cranberry sauce out of a can. And it's very healthy. And there's great cold left over with your turkey or whatever meat it is you're going to have. And it's very pretty.
Yes, it is. Well, this is Guns, Knives, and Watches, and
we hope you enjoy.
Yeah, holiday cranberry sauce. That's really good. Apple cranberry, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Have a good one.